So we're at one of my favorite buildings in Lower Greenville because they've got a bunch of amenities. One of the coolest neighborhoods in Dallas, Texas. First time swinging by the channel, welcome. My name's Lucas and I'm a realtor here in Dallas. And every single day I've got people hitting me up like you and 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 you, needing help with buying houses or renting apartments all throughout the Dallas area. So if you ever have any questions about anything that I cover, feel free to drop me a line. All of my information is below in the description, and I'd be more than happy to help answer any questions that you might have. Without any further ado, let's go check out Alexan Lower Greenville. To Alexan Lower Greenville, which is a mid-rise Dallas apartment building. And to give you some context for geography, we are roughly 15 minutes from downtown Dallas, and this is in the middle of a mature subdivision. So outside of the building, you have lots of mature trees, people parking on the curb. This is a neighborhood of which you kind of grab a beer and then you walk home. So there are no high rises here. Their neighborhood is also very historical. And what I like most about it is Greenville Avenue, of which Alexan Lower Greenville is a pitching wedge away from. It's really just a bar scene that I actually made a video over back in the day. So if you want to get an inside look of some of the nearby entertainment, then make sure to check out that video as well. It's more entertainment focused for Lower Greenville and less apartment focused, and it'll be super helpful to give you an idea of what you could potentially be getting yourself into. In terms of the apartment building, Alexan Lower Greenville was built in 2019, and we've got 5 floors that consist of 475 units, which are studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and actually some townhomes as well, which are situated on the perimeter of the property line, and they actually have their own private garages, and they rarely come available. And for today, I'm going to show you a 1 bedroom and a 2 bedroom. Also going to walk through both swimming pools, the outdoor gaming area, parking, dog park, all the club rooms. There's a ton of amenities here. So sit back, relax, and do what you got to do to get cozy. In terms of parking, the residents will have 1 massive garage, which is kept secure with 2 gated entrances. And believe it or not, the entire garage is just 1 floor. And just by walking through here for about 10 minutes, it's super easy to get lost. I did verify an ample amount of space for parking, so not to worry there. But you'll also have access to multiple EV chargers. And then guest parking will be out front. And I wasn't able to get the signature shot of my whip parked out front like I normally do. It was raining cats and dogs when I recorded this, so make sure to take a mental note of that. If there's no spots available out front for guests, then they can always just park on the street. There's an ample amount of parking because, again, this is in a neighborhood, and then they can just walk to the building from there. Moving over to the floor plans, and we've got 2 for you today. And this first one's going to be on the first floor, which is the 1 bedroom model. Then after this, we're going to do the 2 bedroom model. But one thing that shocked me when I walked in was the hardwood all throughout the unit. Mid-rises will typically cut corners here and elect for carpet in the bedrooms, which is usually just a cost saver for the building, but an annoyance to you. So it was cool to see that Alexan Lower Greenville was not cutting any corners here with that upgrade. I also liked that you have dedicated cabinetry for your trash can as well as your laundry hamper, which is in the closet built into the wall. So make sure to take note of that when I walk into the closet here in a second. My apartment in Dallas actually doesn't have either of those features, which isn't a major problem for me. It's just more of an annoyance by having a shiny, bulky trash can in the middle of my kitchen. And then one thing I also wanted to notate were the white plated washer dryer. So they're not stainless or stackable or aesthetic looking, but I actually have these same ones in my current unit, which work great. Nobody is really ever gonna see them unless you do laundry when company is over. Some of y'all call me and ask for updated appliances that look super aesthetic, so make sure to take note of these right before I exit the apartment. Next up is the B5 two-bedroom, and because this one is on the second floor, you will have carpet in the bedrooms. It really just kind of depends on the floor, and I was told that the units on the higher floors have carpet, so make sure to take note of that. I also like that you've got a dedicated pantry space in the kitchen. Majority of Dallas apartment buildings just give you cabinets and then leave it up to you on if you want to use the cabinets for pots and plates or food. So I thought that was an added touch. And ironically enough, I was a bit surprised when I walked out onto the balcony. You'll see it here towards the end of the clip. My apologies for the color when I walk outside. Something squirrely was going on with my iPhone settings, but you can still get a good idea of the layout because the balcony actually had a decent amount of elbow room and they had it staged to where 4 people would be able to sit out here comfortably, which I thought was another neat perk. So if you're getting any value out of this video, make sure to do this thing, just like all of these people are doing, because the reason why they're doing it is because there are so many buildings in Dallas and all the buildings look good. And the last thing people want to do is come here and tour 37 buildings. And depending on your relationship status, hobbies, interests, learning more about the stage of life that you're in, I can recommend the best buildings and then shave the list of 300 down to 4 or 5 that you and I can focus on. And the buildings actually incentivize me to bring new residents through the door. So it's not like you'd be cutting me a check for my service. That's being taken care of by the other party. So it's absolutely no sweat off your back to go ahead and reach out, and I'll do the best that I can for you. Moving over to the amenities, and today I'm going to start off with the gyms. And yes, that is plural. Technically, we have 2 gyms here. This is the strength room on the first floor, and then the biking and stretching room is up above on the 2nd floor. And walking through the weight room, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I usually throw shade at mid-rise apartment gyms because they are typically smaller and just have less equipment. But Alexan Lower Greenville is stocking you with dumbbells that I believe went up to about 65 pounds. So I thought that was cool. Then you've also got a cable machine, and then I think I saw a Smith machine over on the side, and then just some other ancillary muscle machines. The only annoyance for me is that they put the treadmills and ellipticals in here. I think it would have made more sense for them to take these up to the biking and stretching room, which we'll see here in a sec, and to actually utilize this space with more weights. Because after a quick elevator ride, we get to the 2nd floor, which is where we have gym number 2. And as you can see, there's a bunch of open space, and I'm gonna bang on this drum until the cows come home. I think it'd be really cool if they were to bring the treadmills and ellipticals up here, since you've definitely got the extra square footage, and to then add more resistance training stuff to the strength room down below. But again, I'm just a gym snob. This is just the way that I look at it. Some of us probably don't take the gym as seriously. And for me personally, that's just what I would need in order to forego my gym membership. So if I were to live here, I would probably hold on to my gym membership, as my apartment criteria might be a little bit different than yours. Next, we've got the dog washing stations, and I'll show you the dog park right after this. But all in all, I thought it looked pretty standard, as you've got 2 wash pads fully loaded with shampoo and conditioner, along with a blow dryer, which then brings us to our dog park. And this is actually around the corner from the swimming pool. You'll see the swimming pool next, but here we have actually 2 separate dog runs. And again, I'm not a dog owner, so I'm not exactly sure why we would need 2 separate yards. Maybe one for small dogs and one for big dogs, or maybe one for dogs that are still learning how to get along with other dogs. But anyways, each one was about 15 to 20 yards long, which is definitely bigger than most of what you'll see here in Dallas. And just by going off of the amount of residents that I saw roaming around here with their furry friends, I can imagine that these furry little icebreakers are going to help you meet your neighbors. Now, moving over to the pools, and much like the gyms, pools is plural. So ignore the weather. I typically just go back to the home office when it's raining this hard, but when I woke up this morning, I was determined to video Alexan Lower Greenville. So my apologies for the overcast and rain. Just try to imagine the sun and clear skies. But not sure why I decided to do a 360 right there. I was just dancing in the rain, feeling a little squirrely. And the layout of these pools is that you've got 2 on each end of the outdoor area, and then a shallow portion in the middle that is covered. And then all of the gas grills are going to be toward the back of pool number 2. And this pool area actually reminded me of the pool layout over at the Alton, which is in the Oaklawn neighborhood. So if you foresee yourself spending a decent amount of time at the the pool, or maybe the pool is one of your favorite amenities, so it could be worth checking out that video as well. And then on the edge of pool number 1, there's going to be a bunch of games. So I think I saw a foosball table, some ping pong tables, and just outdoor chess and cornhole and a lot of extra seating area. There's also a pergola out here. So just a lot more stuff to keep you occupied during the summer. Heading over to the golf simulator and putting room. And I thought the entrance was pretty cool. It kind of looks like they're trying to simulate you walking into a club room. And one thing that was unique about the golf simulator room compared to others that I've seen is the extra space that you've got to work on your short game. So lots of buildings in Dallas have golf simulators. It's no surprise. But I can't think of any of them that actually give you the option to putt here in the corner. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I called that out. Now up on floor 5, and we are in one of the 3 lounges, and all of these are separated by a wall and a door, of which allows you to get to each one without having to go outside to the terrace. And the terrace is actually pretty cool, and I wish I could have gone out there, but it was raining cats and dogs. But these rooms are more for chilling and hanging out. There's a pool table up here, as well as an old school Atari machine. I can imagine if you were to host a birthday or some sort of an event, maybe even watch the Cowboys win the Super Bowl, then this is the spot you would pick for that, pending the Cowboys make it to the Super Bowl during my lifetime. Then our final amenity, you've got some co-working spaces down here by the lobby, and this is on the ground floor. So I saw a separate conference room, and then I saw actually a larger conference room. So it looks like you've got 2 separate conference rooms down here if you would like to host a larger meeting. And then there is also a complimentary coffee bar in case you're looking for your next fix of caffeine. Again, this is a very unique property, for it being a mid-rise, and maybe a mid-rise isn't the best fit for you. Maybe it's a high-rise. And if you're still doing research and if you want to see what other buildings are out there in Dallas, feel free to check out this playlist, because I made a video tour just like this one, going over the ins and outs of the most popular buildings in Dallas, which will be helpful if you're doing more research. Y'all stay safe, y'all stay out of trouble, and we'll see you in the next video. Y'all be good.